Does any other YouTuber have to turn off their toilet before they film so that you can't hear the toilet in the background? Probably not. Hi guys, it's Adria, and for today's storytime video, I'm gonna be telling you guys about probably one of the stupidest things I've ever done, and that is piercing my own ears and my own belly button. First off, I know a lot of my viewers are younger than myself, and I know that when I was younger, I really wanted like a bunch of piercings in my ears. I wanted my nose pierced, I wanted my lip pierced, I wanted my belly button. I wanted everything pierced. Don't go there, no one say it. I think I was maybe 17 or 18 at the time. I decided I was gonna pierce my own ears. Why? It's not even like I was 10 or 12, you know, like young. No, I was old enough to know better, but I was like, I can do this. I just had a bunch of small little earrings that I didn't use, so I was like, okay, I can use these to put through my ear. What did I use to pierce my ear? A safety pin. A safety pin. I remember the very first time I put a hole through up here, okay? I was on the phone with my friend as I was doing it, and she had no idea. So I wasn't screaming, wasn't like, just casually on the phone like, oh, hey girl, what's up? Yeah. And piercing myself. Like, what? How? No. After I had pierced myself and we were still on the phone, I was like, hey, I just pierced my ear. She was like, while we were on the phone? I was like, yeah. Once I realized how easy it was, I think the first hole I did was on one of my ears. It was like toward the top of my cartilage, like up here. I was like, okay, that was easy. That was easy. It didn't really hurt all that much. It just kind of, you heard like a click. So then I got all big and ballsy and I was like, oh, well, I could do this to my other ear. I could get a bunch of holes in my ears. And at one point, the most holes I had in my ears at once was 9. And the only ones done by a professional, 2. I put 7 holes through my ears, okay? So I had 2 cartilage piercings, and then I had these 2 down here. And then I had 3 cartilage piercings on the other ear, and then the 2 down here. And I also did my second holes myself. Like, actually piercing these, it was like sticking a pin through a marshmallow. Like I don't know. Whereas the cartilage, it was a bit more rough. It was maybe like trying to stick a pin through like a piece of cardboard. It was a bit harder. My mom gave me such a hard time. My mom was so furious at me. She was like, why would you do that to yourself? Why? Everyone was just like what? And let me just say, they never healed. I don't remember how long I ended up keeping them in for. Once I made the decision to take them out, they never healed. I had them in for months. I would say maybe like close to a year. I had all those piercings in, they never healed. I would clean them. I tried everything to just keep up with them, but they just wouldn't. And the worst was trying to sleep with them in, because I knew right after I had done it that I would probably have to keep them in for a few weeks so that they wouldn't close up. Sleeping? Oh no. Whew. It hurt really bad, okay? I tried like wrapping my ear in like a tissue, putting a tissue behind my ear when I slept, but it's still just, I can still feel the pain. That was the most painful part of the entire thing, not even sticking the needles through. So here is where I got really dumb, okay? So I pierced this part of my ear, this little piece of skin. Someone told me that that is actually really dangerous to pierce by yourself. I don't know if that's true or not. Like, you could go deaf or something. That really freaked me out. It's actually permanently scarred. I don't know if you guys can tell. For the most part, all of the piercings that I did in my ears are all gone. You can't really tell that they were really there. But this little piece of my ear, it scars so bad, and here's why. So when I pierced that, again, it never healed. Like, it never healed. I was sleeping. The piercing, it had started to scab, and it was like really swollen, and I didn't know what to do because I couldn't even touch it to take it out. Like, I wanted to take it out, but I couldn't because my ears just, and I woke up, the earring was stuck to my pillow. It ripped out of my ear, so it made like a slit, okay? My ear turned into like 2 little slits. This thing was in half. Never doing that again. But here's the kicker. I just decided one day, hey, I want to pierce my own belly button, okay? I was sitting on a chair. I put on Breath of Life by Florence and the Machine, blasted that song, leaned back in my chair, rolled my shirt up, took a safety pin, and then just shot it up through my belly button. Okay, the belly button hurt really bad. Probably because I was using a safety pin. It also really hurt my hands to like press that. Oh, I also have a permanent scar on my belly button. I kept the safety pin in my belly button. So once it was through the skin, I just closed it. Just a disclaimer, I probably should have said this at the beginning, but with all the piercings, I just used rubbing alcohol to clean them off. I did do my best to disinfect the needles as best I could, but still you just shouldn't pierce yourself at home, I guess. That's like the moral of the story. I was really, really nervous to tell anybody about the belly button piercing. I was just like, oh my gosh. I felt like my mom was gonna kill me. I felt like my Nana was gonna kill me, especially. The day I did it, I was sitting there eating lunch with my Nana, and I was like, guess what I did? She had already been mad at me for piercing my ears and stuff, and she was like, did you pierce yourself again? I was like, I showed her my belly button. She was like, Adria! The belly button piercing did not last very long. I think it maybe lasted a week. It got so infected, more so than my ears. If I can find the picture of it, I'll put it up on the screen so that you guys can see it. I know I Instagrammed it back when it happened, but when I took the safety pin out of my belly button, the hole was black. So it was just red, swollen with a black hole on it, up in outer space. Ugh. I feel like this whole video is just me like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I don't know. And I remember my sisters and I, like, we would try to pierce each other's lips. We would just try to like pierce each other. Like, I don't know why. We were just the kids that were like, oh, like, let's do something cool. Let's like pierce each other. Just no, okay? I never thought there was anything wrong with piercing myself. I thought, oh, I know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. I was just such a smarty pants. I just thought I had it all figured out. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm fine. Go get it done professionally. I can't stress that enough. Yeah, you can't even really see any scars up here, and I do still have my second hole piercings down here. I don't know if you can see any scarring on this, but it is still permanently scarred. I can feel it anyway. So thankfully my ears did heal pretty well, all things considered. I was really afraid that I would have to go get them looked at by a doctor or something, or like I would have to have part of my ear chopped off or something. I don't know, because I have had that happen to me before. I had like really bad gum inflammation. Like my gums were really infected, and I did have to have like parts of my gums cut off. I was kind of freaking myself out, like, oh no, am I gonna have to have like my ears cut off, or my ear's gonna fall off? Am I gonna not be able to hear anymore? And once I heard that thing about if you pierce this part of your ear wrong, you could go deaf, I was just like, ooh, I am never touching myself with a needle again. But then my lovely sister Livy got a piercing kit and wanted to pierce my nose. I told her I would let her. I was like, whatever, fine. She had done it, Allie had hers done, they weren't infected. Once we were about to do it, I was thinking about my ears and how I didn't want my ears to fall off, and I didn't want my nose to fall off, so I was like, And then I changed my mind at the last second. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And then she was like, no, it's too late, I already have the needle, and she just stuck it through, and I was like, okay, well, it's done, whatever. Thankfully, my nose didn't get infected. Thankfully, it is healed, whereas if I took out the piercings in my ears, the hole would close up, like, instantly. Oh my gosh, and like my ears smelled. I would sniff the jewelry and it smelled like cheese. Like, it was so bad. Just don't do that ever. Do not. I know some of you guys look up to me like an older sister. If you take anything away from this, never stick a needle through your body. It's so risky. It's so irresponsible. You could get a horrible infection. You could lose your nostril, your ear. Something could have to get cut off. I am very lucky that I didn't have to have any parts of me cut off because of infection. I'm very lucky that my belly button healed okay. I was so dumb. I was so dumb. The sick part of it is that I didn't even find it painful. I would just like stick them through my ears, like just casually day to day, like la, 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 la. As for the piercings that I did get done professionally, I got them done when I was a baby, so I don't even remember it. When I pierced these, like these actually stayed my second hole, so that was the only successful piercing that I did myself. There was a bit of success in it, but still I would just say to go to a piercing place and have them do it. I feel like I would have been the kid to order like a tattoo thing on Amazon and just give myself a tattoo. Like, I feel like that would have just been me. Like, I'm just like, oh, I can do it myself. Like, I know what I'm doing. I was such a smart ass. Like, I just didn't want to admit that like I didn't know how to do something or I couldn't do something myself. I never wanted to ask for help. I didn't want to let other people do stuff for me. I just wanted to do it. I guess I got what I deserved in the end. I don't know if I would ever go get them done professionally. I don't know if I would want piercings in my ear, because I don't even really wear earrings now. I only wear earrings for this video for you to see that I have 2 in each ear. And I remember after my belly button healed, I tried to do it again. I remember one night I was on Skype with Brandon back when we were first long distance, okay, and we had to Skype each other. I remember saying like, hey, do you dare me to pierce my belly button again? He was like, what? I was sitting on the floor and I was like doing it and he was like cringing. He was like screaming like, ah! I didn't do it though. I think it got like halfway through and then I was like, oh no, like meh. And it started to hurt and so I was like, So I didn't even learn my lesson from that right away. It took me a bit to be like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that. I just remember getting scabs on my ears and like pus coming out of my ears and just, I guess I thought, you know, like, oh, the only reason people go and have a professional do it is because they're just afraid of the pain. They just can't do it themselves. I was just like, oh, that's the only reason people go get it done professionally. Am I all right? Like, am I Dexter? Like, what is honestly the matter with me? To think like, oh, people only go get it done because they can't do it themselves because they're wimps. Like, no, people go and get it done professionally because they don't want their ears to fall off and they don't want to go deaf and they don't want their belly button to blow up. I don't know. That's why. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time about my piercing experiences. I hope we can all just learn from my mistakes. That's kind of my goal on YouTube, is to let you guys learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. I put out videos 3 times a week. I will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs. I love you guys. Bye!